Hello and welcome back to another episode of The Ryan Weiss Show. I'm your host, Ryan Weiss. Thanks for tuning back in. Today, I am continuing my Lessons for My Kids series, where I'm producing videos talking about life lessons that I think are absolutely vital for my children to learn, and maybe you'll find some value from them too. Today, this video, I think I'm going to title, How to Figure Out What to Do with Your Life. And I'm excited to present this video to you because figuring out what to do with my life has been a process that I've gone through thoroughly, that I'm still going through. And I feel like for the first time in my late 20s, I'm finally close to figuring out what I want to do with my life. First, I'll tell you about my experience in trying to figure out what to do with my life. I first started feeling like I had to make a decision maybe in the middle of high school, around 15, 16 years old. That's where it starts to feel like your decisions really start to make a difference. You feel like you need to get good grades to be able to get into a good college, and then you have to go to college to be able to get a good job, and you want to have a good job, don't you, Mr. 15 or 16-year-old? Well, when I was that age, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I didn't feel any significant callings that were apparent to me. I think I was feeling callings, but I just maybe didn't know how to recognize them or how to articulate them, or didn't realize that they could be a career or could be something that I could do with my life. And I remember after I graduated college feeling a little paralyzed by the amount of options that I felt like were available to me. I could go to college, I could start a business, I could go into religious life and be a monk, I could be a homeless bum. I could just sleep on my mom's couch and play video games. I could, just I felt paralyzed because it just felt like there were so many different options for things to do, which is kind of, I guess, a first world problem, right? I think maybe some people have the other problem where they feel constrained and feel like, oh, I have to do, this one particular thing. But I felt the opposite. I felt like I couldn't figure out what to do because I had too many options. And my strategy when I was 18 or 19 was initially, I'll just do what people are telling me to do. So I went to college. I went to college first semester. And then I found myself feeling depressed. I found it difficult to get out of bed in the morning. I found that I was sort of slacking off in my classes because I wasn't really doing what I wanted to do. I didn't want to go to college. Honestly, I probably should have taken a gap year, and then I would have considered and probably would have had a more successful go at going to college. But I just went immediately into college, and then it didn't work out, and I dropped out, halfway through my second year of college. So then I was faced with, okay, how do I figure out what to do with my life? And the answer to that question for me was introspection, right? So if I just look within myself and I sort of think hard enough, then a direction in my life will become apparent to me. So what I did was I decided to take a backpacking trip around Europe. I figured, if I go and travel for a while, maybe I'll be able to find my life purpose. So that's what I did. I hopped on a plane. I landed in Ireland. I did a 2-month backpacking trip around Europe. I went to Ireland and England and Wales and Germany and France and Hungary. And I traveled by bus and I stayed in hostels. And despite sort of my best efforts, a life purpose was not arising from my travels. My travels were fun. They were interesting. I met interesting people. I got to see interesting things, see parts of the world. And so I don't regret my backpacking trip. But introspection was not the solution to figuring out what I wanted to do with my life. So then I came home and I started to continue to introspect, but I was living with my mom. And I made a critical decision. I just decided to take action. And the first step that I came up with was I should get a job. So I looked around for jobs. I applied to a couple different jobs, and I found an opportunity through Craigslist to work at a home improvement company called Clear Choice Home Improvements. They're still in business now. And I got a job as a salesman there. And through my job as a salesman there, I got sales experience that landed me a job at Bank of America. as a salesman at the bank. Through working at Bank of America, I determined that corporate life was not for me, so I got a job at a small business doing property management. And through that property management company, I realized that I had a sincere interest in owning my own business and in real estate as an industry. And so ultimately, I now own my own property management company, and I invest in real estate. And the key lesson that I learned there was that the most effective way to figure out what you want to do in your life is not through introspection, it's through action. And that's the lesson that I'd like to impart onto you. If you want to figure out what to do in your life, you need to just start doing things. And I felt scared to start doing things when I was a young man because I felt like my time was a limited resource. And if I didn't pick the right thing to start doing, then I might find myself a few years down a path that I don't want to be on, and then I'll have to start over, and that would suck because I'll have lost that precious time that I could have spent doing something else that was the right fit for me. So I felt really hung up in making sure that whatever I started to do was the right fit because of the opportunity cost of that lost time if I chose the wrong thing. And now, after choosing the wrong thing a couple of times, in fact, I chose the wrong thing 3 times, right? It wasn't right for me to work at the home improvement company. It wasn't right for me to work at Bank of America. It wasn't right for me to work at that property management company. Now I found the right thing for me, which is owning my own business and investing in real estate for now. But the thing is and this is critical, all of those things were actually the right fit for me because they got me further down the path towards what is a right fit for me. And right now I believe that owning my own business and investing in real estate is the right fit for me. But I'm open to the fact that it might not be, and it might be leading me down the path further towards what is, right? So the key is to just take action and to just have faith that if you start doing something and it's not the right fit for you, number one, you're now gaining experience and potentially marketable skills that you can bring into the next thing, which is closer to being the right fit for you. And, number two, life is full of second chances. Life is full of additional opportunities. If you drop out of college, you can always go back to college. You can always go back to school. The one caveat that I will say to this is that there are certain decisions you will make in life that make restarting much more challenging. Now I have a family, I have a wife and 2 kids. If I was to go back to college now, that would be extremely challenging. Could I do it? Yes, I could figure out a way to do it if I felt like it was really the right fit, but it's much more challenging. But you know what? I'm in a much better position now in my life because I decided to act than if I had just tried to continue to introspect. So the lesson here, right, to summarize it all, is if you want to figure out what to do in your life, you have to take action. And you have to be unafraid of the opportunity cost of spent time. And you have to have faith that if you start to do something and it's not the right fit for you, you will discover that, and then you can take new action to better align your life with what you want to actually do. So, again, that's my advice. Act. Don't just rely on introspection, and trust that the process of action will also be a process of discovery within your life. Thanks for watching this episode. I hope that this information was helpful. Go out there and take some action. All right, I'll talk to you soon.